Today we're going to talk about the effects this whole process of Beau going to the monks had on Harvey, and how that even though I'm a really conscious parent and very self-aware of my children and what they're going through, that I actually had no idea how this was affecting Harvey. Then I got a phone call one day saying, hey, could you please come into the office? And I said, hey, look, I can't at the moment, I was in a meeting, and I said, can we just talk over the phone? And they said, no, you really need to come face to face. And I was like, oh shit, like what's going on here? So I got brought into the office, they asked me some questions, and then they said, we're going to show you, today he hurt a kid and there was no...
He wasn't provoked.
He wasn't provoked. There was no interaction. It was completely, almost like calculated. Now what had happened was they were having lunch, there was a little toy car there, Harvey grabbed the toy car off the kid took it back, and then Harvey grabbed the toy and he threw it on the ground, and then the kid went to go get it, and then he banged his head on the table.
Harvey smashed the kid's
head
into the table.
Really, pushed his head into the table, and it was like shocking for me.
You're in tears.
I was in absolute tears because this was like so out of character for Harvey. Hello and welcome to another episode of Spill the Tea
with Beau and Kirsty.
With Kirsty and Beau. We love to always fight over the title here. Today we're going to talk about the effects this whole process of Beau going to the monks had on Harvey, and how that even though I'm a really conscious parent and very self-aware of my children and what they're going through, that I actually had no idea how this was affecting Harvey. And so how it actually came about was I got pulled into his school, in his classroom, and the teacher said that they had witnessed some unusual behavior. The interesting thing is that prior to this, what I'm about to talk about here, was 2 weeks prior, they had said to me, hey, has anything happened at home with Harvey? His behaviour's changed. And I said, well, Carson had just come over. Beau had gone to the monks and had left, and Carson had just come over and the kids were play fighting all together. So I actually just thought it must be that, not for a second that Beau not being there was actually mentally affected him. And so they'd asked me some questions about home life and stuff. They knew that Beau had gone to the monks because we were actually really close with the people at his little school.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call one day saying, hey, could you please come into the office? And I said, hey, look, I can't at the moment, I was in a meeting, and I said, can we just talk over the phone? And they said, no, you really need to come face to face. And I was like, oh shit, like what's going on here?
And I originally thought that maybe Harvey was doing something maybe sexual.
Yeah, I was thinking like,
your
mind goes wild.
I don't know, I just thought maybe like the way they'd said it, that maybe he'd been inappropriate, and then I started thinking like,
I can't remember, when I got called in, were you still in the monks or you just got
finished.
Out? You just finished?
Just finished, yeah.
Right, okay, so you just finished. Because I was like, how did we have this conversation? But yeah, okay. So I got brought in and they said, asked me a few questions. And then I was really like emotional because, as I pride myself in like knowing what's going on with my kids. And they said, we're going to show you a video of what...
And I just want to say, the reason we thought maybe Harvey'd done something inappropriate, is because we didn't for a second feel like
it could be
what this was.
Yeah.
And I didn't for a second think that this was what was happening, or
even capable of doing this.
Capable of Harvey doing this.
Yeah. So Harvey, if you watch us, he's very like him and
loving,
his dad,
caring, funny,
but him and his dad are like this. They are inseparable. They do everything together. Beau usually drops him off at school, picks him up from school, does everything with him, goes to all the places with him. He's with Beau 24/7, and me, I'm like the tag along. Okay, so that's how it kind of went down. And so, and I love the fact that it was just like me and Harvey, and I got to be the mum and all that kind of stuff. And there was no signs at home. So this is one thing. There was no signs of this at home whatsoever. So I got brought into the office. They asked me some questions, and then they said, we're going to show you, today he hurt a kid, and there was no
provocative.
No provocation. like, what's the word?
He wasn't provoked.
He wasn't provoked. There was no interaction. It was completely, almost like calculated. And so they showed me the video, and basically what had happened was, and again, we don't know what had happened previously to this. Had these two had some stuff where toys have been taken off each other? We don't know this, but basically they were at lunch, and the teacher was facing the other way. They've got cameras obviously at the school, and the kid started crying, and then they had a look, and he had this like bang on his head. So they went through the cameras to find out what had happened. Now what had happened was they were having lunch. There was a little toy car there. Harvey grabbed the toy car off the kid took it back, and then Harvey grabbed the toy and he threw it on the ground, and then the kid went to go get it, and then he banged his head on the table.
Harvey smashed the kid's
head
into the table.
Really, pushed his head into the table, and it was like shocking for me.
You're in tears.
I was in absolute tears, because this was like so out of character for Harvey. He's not violent, he's not aggressive, he's not angry. He's not emotional like that whatsoever. There was none of that kind of stuff at home. There wasn't like a display of anything like that at home. Now, when I spoke to the lady, she said to me that when she went through a separation at home, her daughter was totally fine, energetic, happy, all the things, and she had no idea. She actually got called in the office, and they said like she's been very withdrawn, she's not really interacting anymore, blah blah. And she's like, "What do you mean? Like, she's not displaying any of that at home. She's totally fine. She's happy, blah, blah." And this is where they said that at home, he feels safe and, in his environment. And then out here, he's displaying emotions, because kids don't know how to...
And let me just say, I think this is where the problem is, because you're like, I asked Harvey if he was okay.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, because there's such a level of safety at home, as you said, when Harvey gets home, he's having dinner with you, he's happy, he's this and that. But when he is at school, maybe there's something outside that, there's a fight with a kid or something that triggers, and just like when we go to work and something triggers us, and
but
like
there's
some
also
guy,
you're thinking about things because you're not in the environment.
That's right. It's like saying why weren't you angry on your 2-week holiday?
Yeah.
Because nothing triggered me, and I was relaxed, and I was regulated. But as soon as I went back to work, Darren from work said one thing, and I snapped and I lost my shit, because our nervous systems are and emotions and thoughts and feelings and everything like that. It's like bottles, and that's what we say. It bottles up.
Yeah.
And literally, it bottles and bottles, and it takes for that kid to take that car, for Harvey to just to go, I've had enough, man. Like, I haven't had my dad for a month, and I miss my dad. But he doesn't know how to say that.
Yes.
But his body is feeling that. And like you said before, how many kids' parents break up, and then their grades start going down at school. They start isolating from their friends because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. Their nervous system's feeling unsafe.
They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express themselves.
Yep, so they start using drugs or alcohol to cope with the inside things that they don't know how to transcribe or transmit into words or whatever. So yeah, I think Harvey deep down was going through it, but no one noticed it because his safety at home and the school environment's good, but deep down he was fucking angry.
Yeah.
He missed me.
And then we got onto the phone with Beau.
Yeah, so we did a video. I did my first video call with Harvey.
His first video call with Harvey. And, like, this is probably going to, break me. I'm emotional. I've been thinking about this.
I'm emotional too.
But Beau looked at Harvey and said, Harvey, are you angry? And he...
That I left.
That I left. And he said left. Yes. And then he started crying. And it's like... wow, like, holy fuck, and I thought in my mind, we had looked after him, nurtured him through all of this. I had the voice recordings of morning and night.
But that's even the problem, because he's got such a great home environment.
Yeah.
There was no signs that he had these emotions inside of him. There were no triggers.
There was no triggers or anything like that. And when he said yes, that he was angry, and then he burst into tears, I was like... oh my God.
I'm Harvey's safety. I do meditation and breath work with Harvey. I do everything with Harvey. And one of the first things that I said was like, I gave him I looked at Harvey in the eyes and I asked him the right question. Yeah. No one had right. Like, of course, if you asked, do you miss Daddy? Yeah. But also, Harvey's one of those kids that when one of the parents leave, like when you went back to Australia, he didn't really ask for you.
Yeah.
He's got such a safe life and he's so happy that he doesn't need one of the other parents. It's not like when... there's a lot of shit going at home, so they need that safety. Harvey's very self-reliant.
But that's what we thought because I don't know if that's actually the truth.
Yeah,
now.
but he is self-reliant. He likes his own space. He likes to do his own thing. He's not a mama's boy. He's not
he
like
does. But one thing I did notice, so after we went through that, and you said to him, you know, are you sad? And he said yes, and all that kind of stuff. We went through his emotions and stuff, and we said that's okay. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be sad. Dad's coming back. Then the next day, obviously he knew you were coming back. He said, "Mum, you're not going to leave, are you?"
Exactly.
And so...
Because you left first.
Because I left first because I went back to Australia for Carson.
Yeah.
Then I came back, then you left. And so then in his mind was like, you're not going to leave, are you?
All right, let's talk about this. You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah.
When we had our big fight
in
that
May.
we had in May with all the shit going on, and we spent some...
this is another fight, guys.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a business or even the best product or service. But let's be real, when no-face Jackie32 jumps on Instagram throwing those nasty comments and you make it mean something about you, it doesn't matter how good your business is, you will crumble. That's why you need us.
Welcome to We Breathe Success, the ultimate experience for aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, and coaches who are ready to break through to the next level.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Waddingham.
And I'm Beau.
We're not just any mindset business mentorship. We are the world's best when it comes to mindset, breakthrough, and transformation.
Our approach combines breakthrough breathwork, powerful mindset techniques, manifestation, and strategic business coaching, setting you up for each week for success and action.
If you're truly serious about unlocking explosive growth, you're in the right place.
Success starts with one essential foundation, your mindset. Without it, even the best business strategies will fall apart.
That's why we go deeper than traditional coaching. We offer advanced biohacking and mindset reprogramming.
Your network is your net worth, and now you have access to ours. With all of this, success isn't just a possibility, it's your only option.
We're here to help you break through your old limits, step into extraordinary success, and create unstoppable momentum for growth. We cover it all: mindset, somatic strategy, community, and connection.
So are you ready to be the leader, visionary, and powerhouse that you were meant to be? Click the link below. Let's book a call.
Well, we had some shit going down. You know, Harvey used to always say, "Do you like mummy or daddy?" Mummy.
Yeah.
No, I like daddy. And he would always have his
He would
days.
always pick a side.
He would always pick a side.
Yeah.
And now, ever since that fight, since that day,
we had a month off. We had a month apart. I stayed in Bali and Beau stayed in Perth.
Yep. And now Harvey always says both.
Both.
I love my family.
Yeah, I love my family.
Remember when he was
I love
angry
my
that day? He's
family.
like,
I love my
family's
parents.
stupid.
Oh yeah, last night because I was telling him to go to sleep, he was like, my family's stupid.
Yeah. So like basically, you gotta like understand like when your kids have a good home and a great safe environment, sometimes you need to have even more deeper conversations because you don't see any of the surface level shit that's really going underneath because everything seems okay. And I guess it's like that one person at work that loses their shit or something happens and everyone's like, whoa, didn't expect that. And or like, you know, when Robin Williams took his life, like you never expect someone as funny or someone like that to do something like that. And because I don't think everyone had that conversation with him.
Yeah.
Maybe he had close people that knew he had a bit of mental health going on or whatever. I'm not too sure. I don't know.
But didn't get down on the cellular level.
That's
so,
right.
you know, I guess, guys, you know, the takeaway from this is that, you know, you can have all the tools and there be no signs in front of you.
Yeah.
But people, including children, are going through things in ways that they don't know how to explain. The same thing with adults and men and women. We might be going through something, but we don't know how to articulate it or explain what we're actually going through or even be able to name the emotion. Now, from that, we allow Harvey will say to me, I'm angry. And I'm like, that's okay.
Cool,
and
let us know.
How are you feeling?
Tell
like,
us.
you know, what are you angry about? I'm angry about this.
And
I'm
invite
like,
it in.
And invite it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. What can I do? You know? And then sometimes... Yeah.
Would you say that being triggered is a good thing then? To bring up whatever
100%.
needs to be addressed inside?
100%. I think children are the biggest
teachers
of this, is that when they have an emotion, they kick, they scream, they cry, blah, blah, and guess what that's called?
Until they get shut down.
Guess what that's called? Processing.
And regulating.
Processing and regulating. Now, if us adults kicked and screamed and did our thing in a healthy manner, we process, we regulate. That's why, you know, when you have a massive fight with your partner or something and you're like, scream all the stuff out, and then in about an hour you've started to regulate and come back down, that's because you were able to process and express. You were able to erupt, to let the shit out. Kids are very good at this, but it's the adults that put the fucking lid on it.
I teach Harvey what his emotions mean and how to do it. I'm like, take a
and
breath
to name them. He can name his emotions.
Them, what's going on? Because, like, you're right. Like, when you're in such a good place, like, all the other stuff just gets buried. Because you're like, oh, you know, life's not that bad or whatever. But everyone's pain is their pain to them, and his pain was his pain to him.
Yeah.
And he was acting out behaviourally at school, and it started off with little things, and it got worse and worse, and then it eventually got to maybe he'd really been missing me that day, and he was really emotional and very angry that I left.
So it was a long time. There was 35 days then.
It was 35 days, maybe more, 36 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, near on 40 by the time, like, from when I left to come home. You know, and maybe that he, like, didn't know if I was coming home, or he was angry at me, or maybe he was angry at himself or angry at you. Like, you don't know. He can't...
He did say something to me where, you know, he said that you were angry with Dad.
That's right.
So, and he had overheard a conversation of when I was flying back from Australia.
Kids are smart.
Kids are smart. They're picking up on stuff. He said, hey, you had a fight with Dad. Why were you angry with Dad? So then maybe he's now gone, Mum was angry with Dad, now Dad's gone, I don't have Dad. You know, so...
Well, even last night you said that you were sad, and when Harvey come home, he overheard me saying, like, that you were sad
to Noah,
and you're all good. Let's just say you're all good. You're just going through.
I just had some stuff.
Just finished your period.
Yeah, and then and Beau had spoken to Noah and said, you know, Mum's sad, blah blah.
And sometimes you and all of us, we have days where we just feel fucking sad.
Yeah,
and down.
and we
go chuck yourself in the bath and fucking go breathe.
Just relax, you know. I had some time out, and then Harvey came home and he said, "Hey, Mum, are you sad?" And I said, "Yeah, I am sad. How do you know that?" And he goes, "Oh, well, what's wrong?" I said, "Sometimes we just feel sad. There's no real reason." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I love you."
Yeah, that's it. And that's all it is, a bit of support. We don't need to make each other feel better, and it's okay to have those waves and emotions, negative, positive, whatever. It's just, we're human beings. We're not supposed to be up all the time, you know. Like, society's hectic. But yeah, it's just a really cruel reminder that, like, that fucking... Our kids, no matter how young they are, they could be going through shit that you have no idea about, and then
check in with them if you're going through a transition in your life, and something's going on there. Like, check in with your kids. Like, you might not think that they're affecting them, but it is. And you know that was, and you know when he was reunited with his dad. You know, if you watched our social media, you would have seen him running to his dad and looking for his dad, and it was the most beautiful. Like, it still brings tears to my eyes thinking about that moment. And he just held on to his dad and just loved, like, just wanted to be in his arms. And you know that is pure love. That's pure genuine care and love.
But he went back to, like, even when we got home, he wasn't like clingy or anything like that. He just went back to playing with his toys and doing his thing. But he felt safe. His
parents were home, and he always says, like, "Now I love my family, I love my parents, I love both." And then he brings Noah into it. Those two on and off fight. You know, Noah brother love, but he's like, "I love Noah."
Noah coming too. Daddy coming too? Harvey coming too?
But yeah, thank you guys. Like, I just wanted to share that with everyone because, you know, like, these were things that, you know, we went through personally as a couple, but, you know, it also affected Harvey, and I didn't know.
One key takeaway in this is ask the right questions. Yeah. And this is not just for your kids. This is for your partner too. Like, one day your partner fucking flips their lid, you know, like Harvey did. And then you're like, whoa, what the fuck's going on? Especially for the men, because women are emotional and men bury their head and ignore things. But, like, you know, ask the right questions.
Yep.
And go deeper, because, like, you know, even like kids, sometimes we don't know how to transcribe or promote or put into language on what's really going on with us, because we don't understand. Yep. But when we probe the right questions, sometimes it opens up parts of us that we don't know are there. And we have someone there that does that, whether it's your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your partner, that you can have that conversation and get to the root and then kind of process it and regulate it and work through it with some tools.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks for joining this episode. If you liked anything from today, please give it a share or reach out. We love to have a chat. Like, subscribe, share. Big love. Thank you. See you on the next one.
Big love.
Let's go.